Hello, welcome to Mrs Coombe's reading place, where I get to read and discuss books with you. The book we're going to be starting with is Jojo and the Melon Donkey, and written by probably one of my favorite authors, Morpurgo, and illustrated by Tony Kearns. Oh, I wonder what the story is going to be about. I haven't read this book, so you and I are going to experience this together. As we can see, there's a donkey. He's looking rather sad, I think. How do we know he's looking sad? Maybe it's the way his head is looking far down. I don't know. And look, he's walking over, looks like some sort of bridge. And there are people who are moving about on the water. I wonder where this is set. Do you have any idea? Well, maybe when we read a bit, we'll find out. Oh, look at that poor fellow. How do you think he's feeling? Can you think of some adjectives to describe him? Sad, forlorn, disheartened. Poor little guy. Oh well, let's start our story. Chapter 1. Jojo was a donkey. His father had been a donkey before him, and his mother as well. And so, of course, Jojo had to be a donkey, whether he liked it or not. And he did not like it, not one bit. Work began early every morning for Jojo. First, his master would load him with so many melons that he could hardly walk. Then his master would drive him out of the village and down the dusty road toward the great city of Venice. Ah, Venice. That's the place that the picture was. Go and do some research and go and have a look at Venice, and you can see all about that amazing town. City. Oh, look at this picture. Look at Jojo. It looks like he's almost calling the people. There's two children here asking their mom for some money. I think to buy some gorgeous melons. Let's carry on reading. Jojo loved Venice. It was his city. He loved the canals and the bridges, the little squares and the sound of the church bells ringing out over the rooftops. He loved to stand and watch the water lapping around the houses, almost if it wanted to suck the city back into the sea. All day long, his master would haul him down the narrow footpaths that ran alongside the canals, and Jojo would call out, "Melons! Melons! Melons for sale!" His braying would echo down the canals and into the squares. Everyone would know it was Jojo, the melon donkey, and come running with their money. And all the while the flies came to torment him and would not go away. Only in the cool of the evening, resting under his olive tree, were there no flies to bother him, and no master to bully him. Then at last he would be at peace. He would roll blissfully in his patch of dust, shake himself happy, and lie down to dream. Do you have a place where you can go to be at peace? Well, we can see where Jojo's place is. Look at him. Look at the dust that's flying around him. He's having a really good time in that dust storm. Okay, let's move on to chapter 2. One misty summer sunrise, his master woke him up as usual. "Up, up, up, you old ragbag!" he shouted. "No more little back streets for me. I'm going up in the world. I've heard they'll pay double for melons in St. Mark's Square. That's where the rich folks live. Even the Doge, the ruler of Venice himself, might buy one of my melons." The load was even heavier that morning, but Jojo didn't mind. He had a sudden feeling inside him that something good was about to happen. I wonder what that could be. Something good's going to happen. Have you had that feeling before in your stomach when you think, oh, something's amazing's happening? Well, Jojo felt it. By the time they reached St. Mark's Square, the sun was high in the sky and the square was already full of people. I don't know why I never thought of this before, said his master, unloading the melons. Oh, look at him. They're unloading. Look at his legs. He can hardly make himself to stand up straight. But look at the square. Look at all these people dancing around. I think he's playing marbles. Seems to be throwing something and looking at something. This is the place for us, right in front of the cathedral. We'll sell them in no time. Sing out, you old ragbag, you. Sing out. Melons, melons, melons for sale, Jojo brayed, and his cry rang around the square. Everyone in St. Mark's Square stopped and turned and looked, and then one of them began to laugh, and then another and another, until the entire square was filled with laughter. What are you laughing at? Asked Jojo's master. Have you seen a donkey before? Haven't you? What's so funny? Above your head, they cried. Look above your head. Jojo and his master looked up. Behind them, glowing in the sun, stood the 4 golden horses of Venice, the 4 most beautiful horses in the world. Beauty and the Beast, roared the crowd. Beauty and the Beast. Jojo hung his head in shame. All morning, people came to point and stare, but they bought no melons. Take your donkey to the back streets where he belongs, they said, and you can take your melons too. We don't eat melons here. They're not good enough for us. Okay. Oh, look at this picture. The illustrator has really got a lot of emotions going on there. You can see the beautiful 4 golden horses at the top. Oh, look at Jojo. Oh, shame, man. He's really battling his feet. I think he's hoping that the ground would open up and just swallow him. And look at those people laughing. Wonder what's going to happen. Well, let's read a bit further on. Then, as the noon bells chimed, the great doors of the Doge's palace opened, and a little girl ran out into St. Mark's Square. A nurse bustling after her. Come back, come back, cried the nurse. The nurse cried, you know you're not allowed out of the palace. But I want a melon, said the little girl. And anyway, I don't like being cooped up in that palace all day. I've got no friends to play with, and I'm bored. It's the Doge's daughter, someone whispered. Soon everyone was there, bowing and courtesying as she passed. She ignored them all and went straight for the pile of melons beside Jojo. How much do you want for one of your melons? She asked Jojo's master. Such an honor, Highness, such an honor, replied Jojo's master. For your Highness, it's a gift. I have the best melons in all of Venice, Highness, and this one is for you. Thank you, said the Doge's daughter, taking the melon. And then she noticed Jojo standing beside his master. He has such sad, kind eyes, she said, and she reached out and stroked Jojo on his neck. Jojo had never been patted in all his life, and his knees weakened with joy. Really, Your Highness? Said the nurse, taking the Doge's daughter by the arm. You should not be touching that filthy creature. Can't you see there are flies all over him? Come along, back to the palace before your father sees you. And she hustled the little girl away. Jojo closed his eyes and held the picture of the little girl in his mind so that it would never go away. Within a few minutes, all the melons were sold. Suddenly, anyone who was anyone at St. Mark's Square was eating melons. After all, what was good enough for the Dodger's daughter was good enough for them. So every day that summer, Jojo came to St. Mark's Square, loaded with melons, and stood under the 4 golden horses in front of the cathedral. And every day the Dodger's daughter came at noon for her melon. And every time she came, she never failed to smile at Jojo. She would always talk gently to him and smooth his nose before she left. Sure, definitely a lot of people, they're all eating the melons. I think Jojo quite likes having his nose scratched. His ears are all up now, aren't they? Not down like they were in the previous pictures. Chapter 3, you're going to have to wait for the next session to hear more what happens. Maybe you need to do some thinking. What do you think happens next? You've still got a bit of a long way to go to read the rest of the story. Look forward to meeting you next time when we read Chapter 3 of Jojo and the Melon Donkey. Bye for now.